So one, correct me if I'm wrong. Number one, 2 weeks ago, your folks was like number 3 last week, and said they down. That only got them number 5 got I'm not expecting that. I think Northern Morgan has been up in Southern and possibly also consider more non-conference. Not conference, also it is. I'm not just I'm throwing out things. If I would or can you get 2 people I am glad I did not try. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Joe.
That's great. We are the second. Johnny cooking so much shit for me to work. Talk about how great. Good basketball, a lot of one that really opened my eyes. Despite the upside down, we want to talk a little bit about people have questions about celebration bowl, payout, what does that look like? Just to give you an update there, $1.2 million payout the percentage of that they all start in terms of $6 or $2 million missing that money, but you see how long they've been in the business for the road, they're going back 20 years in terms of what they do there and how they're tied into CFP and how they have really engulfed all the money. But if you look at some of the other bowls out there, the article they talk about winning bowls, really focusing on New Mexico State, which it was encouraging fans to purchase tickets. And it wasn't so much about purchasing tickets, obviously you want to support the team. But a lot of it was maybe a distance that a lot of fans wouldn't necessarily travel to Aggies team that was playing 56, Bowling Green, Falcons team, if you will, coming out of the MAC all the way into the court. So they were asking fans to support the team that did the bowl and purchase tickets so they could donate them to Detroit area youth. It's a great thing for the youth to get a chance to get out and see some college football. But I wanted to get into some of the money when we talk about this particular matchup. When you see what was going on here, three things to know about the bowling team. At that time, the 6-lane bowl, they called if you would, a week ago. The university closed travel costing $400,000 when we talk about the celebration bowl, you heard last week, they got the deal with double extra school teams in here to Atlanta at no cost to the team. So you didn't have to worry about that type of cost where you see it's doing $400K for Detroit. And so some interesting things there when you think about it. But this is really interesting what I've seen when you talk about these payouts. Because a lot of folks talk about $1 million, $2, $3 million payouts for these bowls. One thing people don't realize, a lot of times these bowls will put a number in there, but they'll charge you, as you see, for your travel, your hotel stay, food and things of that nature while you're in there. They'll also charge you for the band in terms of the band and who you bring in there. They'll charge you a ticket price for the band members in the stand. And so the payout for a quick lane bowl was $150K. Yeah, let me say that again. The payout for that bowl game was $150K, and which is why you see the fact that they were encouraging the fans to buy tickets, because this is where it can get a little benefit to the fans. New Mexico State Athletic Director was quoted saying that the university will retain 100% of the revenue from the first 2,000 tickets it sells, 50% of the next 2,000 tickets, which by New Mexico wants its fan base to purchase all of these tickets, because if they did, they could recoup $420K in terms of what that means. So this can give you some indications of what's out there and what you really need to look at the contract, or at least get some more information of some generalities of these various bowl games to get an understanding of what that looks like. So just on the surface, I'll go to you, Charles. What are your thoughts in terms of what that looks like when you see, especially some of these small bowls, in terms of what they bring to the table and compare? Because a lot of folks will instantly go to the larger bowl games and say, hey, they're carrying out this. And just so, one of the things we always like to talk about on is the business side. So you see some of the numbers that go out there and get an understanding of what that looks like. What are your thoughts?
Tremendously enlightening to really find out some of the ancillary costs. I think that those are things that you almost oftentimes take for granted, Dr. Gill, that you know, those the charging for the band, the things of that nature. So you never sort of calculate those into what goes into the bigger picture. But it's fascinating to see the numbers out there for all of us to really grasp and understand, what a jewel that you have within the celebration.
Yeah, and you see the numbers continue to move up. Both in terms of the attendance and the ratings and the when you sit back in the table, to continue to push for the payout. Mike, what are your thoughts in terms of just getting a different framework of what the bowl landscape and how varied it can be?
Yeah, you often wonder, you look at all of the activities that take place, and then you look at, who's transporting the group here, who's transporting the group here, who's paying for this dinner, who's providing gift baskets for the team. Those are all parts that are very
I'm good.
on the umbrella of the bowl cost.
I have to tell you about
And then you wonder, does the bowl game have sustainability of growth and volume over the course of 3 to 5 years? Just kind of, eat a lot of those.
As you're working, we're going to see about getting you some additional people. Like I may be able to find players. Keep working. Okay, I know you give yourself time. They want to do some interviews, so we're probably going to bring them over to the women's game.
Sure. Or whatever. I think it's
She's retiring this year too, right? Yeah, she's leaving.
Or whatever. You wonder where that's coming, what podcast like it is. So you get all of those all those I guess trinkets into that big basket of local costs, and then that gives you a different insight on this a viable bowl game. And like CB said, all that in consideration, it gives you more of an appreciation for not only the performance of the Celebration Bowl, but the growth that you've seen over the last 5 years.
Take a second for it to kick in for you. Okay. Gesture, you had it rolled up, right? It's definitely got in there because we're using it. Let me disconnect that. You know what? I'll get on it at some point. We got to get on this, so. Don't worry.
Good afternoon and welcome to Birthright Alumni Hall on the campus of Stillman College for Senior Day and Homecoming 2023. Please give us a hand for being here. The Southern States Athletic Conference Women's Basketball Clash features the visiting Tornadoes of Talladega College and your Stillman College Tigers. The Southern States Athletic Conference and the NAIA.
All the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran wild, that bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now for the starting lineup for tonight's game. First for the visiting Tornadoes, Talladega, Alabama. Guard,
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. Okay. And hello everyone. Welcome to Birthright Alumni Hall on the campus of Stillman College. We're here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for tonight's home finale of the season, and it's senior day for the Lady Tigers of Stillman College. They will be taking on Talladega HBCU from right down the road along I-65 in what should be a very festive day. And when I'm talking about festive day, I mean like
everybody and their mama is here at this contest. Of course, it's homecoming weekend on the campus of Stillman College. Everybody's coming back. It's a big family reunion. And also at the end of the day, they will get a chance to culminate things with a great basketball game between Stillman and Talladega. Now up first, it'll be the Stillman women. Coach Aliko Dunk and company still trying to get good positioning in the SSAC as they get ready for the SSAC postseason tournament, which is right around the corner. Now, throughout today's broadcast, here's what we're going to have. Obviously, we're going to have the game broadcast, but also we're going to be talking with some of your favorite Stillman alumni, Stillman administrators, and just some special faces that are involved in the HBCU community. And that'll all make it special, especially on being homecoming weekend right here in the city of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We're going through the starting lineups right now for both teams, and we'll be tipping off momentarily right here on Black College Sports Network. I'm Mo Carter, and appreciate you guys tuning in and joining us for today's wonderful home finale between Stillman and Talladega. Coming to today's game, Stillman is 15-12 on the year, 7-9 in SSAC play. These two teams met not long ago. When I mean not long ago, I'm talking about 1 week ago exactly, in which Stillman was able to beat Talladega by a final of 62-47. So clearly Talladega will be having revenge on their mind as they get ready for today's contest, while Stillman, they're trying to get a sweep of the Tornadoes. So it's Tigers and it's Tornadoes coming up right here on the Black College Sports Network, along with HBCU League Pass Plus. So we're getting ready to start off. Here are your starting lineups for Stillman: Kelsey Smith, Lanasia Warner, Amaria Strong, Desiree Tyner, and Corin Millerton. For Talladega, it'll be Janiyah Wilder, Amila Sharif, Michaela Transu, Katrina Patkova, and Shamaya Lohman. So the opening tip is controlled by Stillman. So here come the Lady Tigers. They're working around, and the first shot that goes up is by Desiree Tyner. Her shot is off the mark. However, we get a rebound and a bucket, and Stillman will take an early 2-0 lead. That bucket was made by Desiree Tyner, so she's getting off to a solid start. Another thing along with homecoming, it is also senior day as well for Stillman. So when you take a look at things for Stillman, clearly they'll want to send their seniors off in a good manner. So here we go. Here's another bucket that goes up. Rebound, though, right there by Amaria Strong. Her shot's off the mark, and then the ball goes over to Talladega. So here comes Talladega, the Tornadoes, moving from right to left on your television screen or your digital monitor or your tablet, iPad. Whatever you're watching for, we do appreciate you checking things out. Here is a three-point attempt by number 5, and that is Michaela Transu, and her shot is off the mark. All right, and here is a steal right here by Desiree Tyner. Can Tyner come up with the steal and the bucket? She does, and one. Count the basket and the foul. Desiree Tyner will be heading to the free throw line to try to give her team a 5-point lead. What great defense right there by Desiree Tyner, reading the offense of the Tornadoes and turning the defense into offense for Stillman. So with that free throw, Desiree Tyner was able to connect, and now she puts her team up by 5. Can the Tornadoes respond? Tyner almost comes up with a steal. Now they'll hand it off to Janiyah Wilder, and then here's another three-point attempt that goes up by Amila Sharif, and her shot is off the mark. On the other end, can you translate defense into offense? The answer is no, as Lanasia Warner's three-pointer hits the backboard and rims out. Here comes Amaya Walker. We'll hand it over to Janiyah Wilder into the hands of, that'll be Sharif, who will get it over to Pat Cover. Her shot's off the mark. Coming back on the other side, here comes Stillman. Here's a shot that goes up, and it's good by Lanasia Warner. Thank you so much. So your score now is 7-0 with 7:10 to go in the first quarter. Stillman on top, pitching a shutout right now on senior day and homecoming day. Here comes Talladega swinging the ball around now. They get into the hands of Pat Gova. Gova will drive baseline. She tries to dish it inside. The ball goes to Amir Brown. Corin Militant is called for the foul. Next it'll be Shamaya Loman. Desiree Tyner now has actually been called for the foul. They made the correction right there. So going to the free throw line will be Shamaya Loman, a senior forward, 5'9", from out of Dawson, Georgia. Farrah Pearson making her first appearance in today's ball game now. Got a nice crowd on hand on both sides of Birthright Alumni Hall Gymnasium for today's homecoming events and senior day events. And here we got the band that's sitting on the stage. Prior to arriving to today's game, I literally drove right past them as they were putting on an outside show for fans and alumni who are getting ready to come into the ball game. All right, we're walking inside now. Here's Militant, and Militant squares up and scores in the paint right there. Gives her team a 9-1 lead. Militant is one of the seniors on Stillman's team. And Militant comes up with the tip. She gets into the hands now of Kelsey Smith. Kelsey Smith swings it around Lanasia Warner. Warner blows by some defenders, but her shot is off the mark. Rebound is a long one, and it goes over to Amila Sharif. Sharif will hand the ball off to Janiyah Wilder. Wilder, a grad student from Macon, Georgia. She's got experience. Will that experience pay off today against Stillman? Both of these teams are playing for positioning in the SSAC as the postseason tournament comes up. Here is a three-point attempt up by Amila Sharif. Her shot's off the mark, but we have a foul on the floor. Looks like Farrah Pearson will be called for the foul. Her first. Foul was on the floor. Tigers with 3 team fouls. Talladega only with 1. Here come the Tornadoes running their offense. 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. They're swinging it around, get the ball over to Wilder. Wilder will get it over to Sharif. Here's Sharif trying to put some moves on. She will kick it out over to number 5, and that was Makaya Transu. Her shot was off the mark. Now, Stillman in transition, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds, and Stillman will keep the possession. 5:27 to go. On the inbounds, here comes Farrah Pearson. Pearson will swing it over to Amaria Strong. Strong's gonna pull up for 3, and it is good. Amaria Strong with the downtown connection from downtown Tuscaloosa. Stillman now on top 12-1. Here comes Michaela Transu. She'll get it over to Sharif. Sharif, y'all, gets in the hands of Janiyah Wilder. Wilder's going to drive baseline, and she runs into a pair of defenders for Stillman. They'll have to kick it out. Micaiah Tranzu will put the shot up. Her shot's off the mark. Rebound, Sharif, and she scores right there in the paint. That's the first field goal made by Talladega on the day. On the other end now, here comes Amaria Strong. Strong picks up a dribble, will get it over to Kelsey Smith. Here's Smith swinging it over to Lanasia Warner. Warner thought about a three-pointer. Instead, she will swing it over to her teammate. That's Amaria Strong, and her shot's off the mark. Rebound goes over to Talladega. So here come the Tornadoes. It's Tornadoes and Tigers today. Depending on which side of the fence you're on, both one could be dangerous in the wild. Here's Michaela Tranzu trying to blow by defenders, and she does. Goes all the way to the glass and scores. Michaela Tranzu with her first field goal of the day. As we mentioned earlier, today is homecoming on the campus of Stillman College here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It's homecoming. It's senior day. It's family reunion day. You might as well go ahead and say it. You probably haven't seen a whole lot of people here all around as we get back to the action on the court. And Millerton gets some space, throws the elbow as she tries to go up. And what do we got here? Well, what we're going to do is we got a timeout. We're going to take it with them. So with 3:40 to go, it's 12-5. Tigers on top. We'll be right back on BCSN.
Complicated taxes. But for a TurboTax Live expert like me,
thank you so much. I literally walked over, they had 3 men's seats.
What about professional
And like I'm looking, I'm like, that's not women. That's not women.
What if I'm in a state with my survival videos?
I can help. And if this is a business dinner, save those jokers. An interesting life can mean an even greater refund. You do your thing. We've got your taxes. Intuit TurboTax Live.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years. I thought new phones were for new customers. We got iPhone 13s too, switched to Verizon 2 minutes ago.
Ours were busted, and we still got a shiny new one.
Check it out. So wait, everybody gets the same great deal.
I think that's your point.
iPhone 13 on us. For every customer. Current, new, everyone. On any unlimited plan. Starting at just $35. All on the network more people rely on.
It's like a loop machine.
And welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall here on the campus of Stillman College. Mo Carter here on the broadcast for Stillman's homecoming and senior day and their home finale as they take on the Tornadoes. Before we went to the break, we were trying to figure out what was going on. Come to find out, there was a foul on the floor before the shot was put up by Millerton. So because of that, the Tigers will take the ball out underneath the basket. They get inside to Farrah Pearson. They'll swing it over to Alexandria Hyman. Hyman will swing it back over to Lanasia Warner. Back into the hands of Hyman. Now over to Farrah Pearson. Pearson going to kick it out. Here's a three-point attempt by Stillman, and it's good. Lanasia Warner with a three-pointer from downtown T-Town. It's 15-5. Stillman out in front. On the other end, here comes Janiyah Wilder. She get it over to Michaela Tranzu. Tranzu back over to Wilder. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. We got a 10-point lead for Stillman. And there's a tie-up right here on the floor, and we're going to have a jump ball scenario. Tornadoes will keep the possession on the jump ball. I had to wait for the PA announcer to make that announcement because I'm looking straight across and I do not see a jump ball possession arrow light working today. On the other end, we had almost had a shot clock violation, but in the process, the Tornadoes missed their shot. Ball is picked up by Jamisha King for getting her first action of the game. Also into the game for the first time, Jordan Moody. Now, Stillman tries to work the ball inside, and there's going to be a foul on the floor as Farrah Pearson gets the rock.
Jemiah Lohman was called for the foul. It was on the floor, so Stillman will take the ball out. Underneath on the baseline, they go inside for Farrah Pearson, and Pearson scores on the hook shot in the paint. 17-5, Stillman on top. Approaching 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Here comes Wilder. Wilder picks up a dribble, gets it back over to Sharif. Shot clock winding down. Sharif's got to get up a shot, and it's up, but it's off the mark. Rebound goes to Alexandra Heyman. She's going to get it up to Jordan Moody. They are pushing the ball. Let's go from coast to coast. Can Stillman do it? No, they cannot on the first initial attempt by Lanasia Warner. But Farrah Pearson is there for the rebound and the putback. She gives her team a 14-point lead. It's 19-5 as we just go under 2 minutes in this first quarter. Here's Amila Sharif. Sharif has a shot blocked by Farrah Pearson. Pearson will throw it up to Misha King. King's going to try to beat the defense. She goes up, but she misses the layup. Rebound goes over to Sharif and the Tornadoes. Can Pearson come up with another steal? And she does, and she's going to hit the floor hard, but there will be a foul on the play. Oh no, they're actually calling Pearson on the foul on that one. Looking across at Coach Aliko Dunk, he's not excited about that call. And now he's saying the foul came. All right, appreciate the official right here. He said it came before the contact and before she made the steal. It's always good when you got those referees and officials right here in front of you on the broadcast booth. So the Tornadoes will have the ball. Here's a three-point attempt that goes up and way off the mark by Michaela Tranzu. Rebound goes over to Alexandra Heyman. Heyman will get it over to Jordan Moody, and the speedy Moody is trying to beat the half-court press, and she does. Gets it in the hands of Farrah Pearson. Pearson's going to try a three-pointer, and it's good! Downtown T-Town for Farrah Pearson with that three-pointer. 22-5 is your score. We're under a minute to go in the first quarter here on Senior Day and home finale day and homecoming for the Stillman Lady Tigers. Here are the Tornadoes. The turnaround jumper by Brooklyn Tolton is off the mark. Heyman comes up with another rebound. Shot clock and game clock are the same. We get the ball up over to Amaria Strong. Strong goes over to Farrah Pearson, and Pearson connects again. 24-5 is your score. 13 seconds to go on the game clock. Tornadoes probably setting up for the last shot. Here comes Michaela Tranzu. We got 3 seconds. Tranzu's going to drive. Tries to go off glass. She does, but she misses the shot, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We played one inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. Your score, Stillman 24, Talladega 5. We'll be right back on the Black College Sports Network.
When you work in IT, complaints are part of the job.
Bill says the copy's weak.
But since CDW helped us switch to Mac, everyone's happy. Dan from Finance likes getting performance without a big price tag. Phoebe digs the power of the Apple M1 chip.
I know that's
Mac
right.
is easy to manage, compatible with all our apps, and paid pre-configured by CDW. Now we're even getting compliments.
That was Bill again. Says he loves his new Mac. He's right about the copy.
Hey, I appreciate that clearance. Appreciate that. Because clearly, I just looked over and she just hit the ground. I'm like, wait, what? Good deal. Hey, thank you, Chris. All right.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, trying to get down.
And we are back here in we're back in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for Stillman as they take on Talladega. I'm Mo Carter. We're getting ready for second quarter action here inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. Stillman out to a commanding lead. They're already up by 19. It's 24-5 after the first quarter. Let's take a look at some of your first quarter stats. And of course, it's been all Stillman. Stillman is 10 of 19 from the floor for 52%. They've made 3 out of 7 of three-pointers for 42%, and they've been to the free throw line one time. On the other side for Talladega, as Militan's shot goes up, her shot's off the mark, but how about Keasia McKinney with the bucket right there to give them a 21-point lead. As I mentioned, Talladega, 2 of 16 from the field. They are 0 for 4 from three-point range, and they've been to the free throw line twice, but only made 1. Go to the other end now, and here's a block by Militant, but they're saying she caught Janiah Wilder on the arm, so Wilder will head over to the free throw line for a pair of free throws. As we mentioned today, it is senior day. No, actually, they're saying that the foul. Okay, I was right initially, everyone. I thought for sure it was a shooting foul, but clearly there were 10 young ladies on the court that thought that it was a foul on the floor, because they were going over to take the ball out of bounds. But in the meantime, let's take a look at the stats for one Janiah Wilder. On the year, she is a 69% free throw shooter. She is able to sink the first one, making it 26-6. Here's the second one. It's up and it's good. She goes 2 for 2 in that one, and Janiah Wilder makes this a 19-point game once again. And here's Talladega. They're going to put on a full court press. Can Jordan Moody beat the press? We'll find out momentarily. Moody does beat the press. She gets it up to Amaria Strong. Strong back over to Moody. Here's Moody for 3. Hits the backboard off the mark. There's a long range for the rebound, and into the hands of Amaria Strong it goes. She'll swing it over to Alexandra Heyman. Heyman will try to dump it off to Militant, and Militant cannot hold on to the rock. Turnover for Stillman. On the other end, here comes Talladega. Amila Sharif running the offense. Sharif wants to get it over to Janiah Wilder, and she does. Wilder with the rock in her hand. 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. They've got to get a shot off now. They'll hit a turnaround jumper, but it's off the mark, and Militant comes up with the rebound. She gets the ball now into the hands of Jordan Moody. Moody will swing it over to Amaria Strong, and she is good once again from downtown. 29-7 is your score as we approach the 8-minute mark. Stillman all over Talladega in this one, in the first of a matchup of a doubleheader. Here comes Tranzu. Tranzu will get it over to Janiah Wilder. Now, Wilder's going to pull up for a 2-pointer. Long rebound is off the mark, but rebound goes over to Amir Brown, and Brown has the ball stolen by Jordan Moody. Here's Moody pushing the ball up court. She goes inside to Militant, and Militant goes up and off the glass and scores. Militant, one of the many seniors playing today. Going to be a lot of young ladies who are honored today to play, and we've got a foul on the floor. Looks like we got a moving screen, so ball will go back over to Stillman. Amir Brown will be called for the foul. Kelsey Smith will check back into the game. She replaces Jordan Moody. And we got a timeout on the floor, so let's take it with them. 7:27 to go. Tigers way out in front. We'll be right back on BCSN.
At HBCUs, there's no limit to who we can be. Black and inspired and thriving. Black and magnetic and sing. From the classrooms to the quad. Our passion is our
reminder, I usually try to flip-flop.
We are leaders and legacy. So when you look at what we accomplish,
I know, they pay the bills.
You'll know where it starts.
Somewhat.
Who you are and who you want to be.
I got you. Yeah, we're good. I got you on the next one.
I'm a millionaire.
Crypto is complicated, but as a tax expert,
But with crypto experience, you can make your taxes off to you do your thing. We've got your taxes.
Nope.
TurboTax Live.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that makes crust good. Topped and stuffed with bacon, a half pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out Pizza the Hut.
And welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall. You're watching Stillman Women's College Basketball right here on BCSN and HBCU League Pass Plus. It's Mo Carter on the broadcast today in a matchup between the Lady Tigers and the Tornadoes. And right now, the Lady Tigers are ripping the Tornadoes apart right now. It's 31-7 as we approach the 7-minute mark here in the second quarter. On the floor right now for Stillman, Jordan Moody, Kiesha McKinney, Amaria Strong, Alexandria Heyman, and Corin Millerton. Here's a three-point attempt by Alexandria Heyman, and she connects from downtown. T-Town, 34-7 is your score. And no, this is not a football game. This is basketball, everyone. I know you would think 34-7 usually would be a blowout score in a football contest, but nah, we're playing basketball inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. Can the Tornadoes respond or get something going? And if they try to go inside, and the ball will be turned over by Amir Brown. Here comes substitution for the Tornadoes. Checking out will be Amir Brown. Checking in will be Brooklyn Tolton. Brooklyn Tolton, a junior forward, 5'8", from Macon, Georgia. On the court right now for Stillman. They roll inside, and we'll have a blocking foul right here. But they're saying the blocking foul apparently took place before Militant made the shot, so it'll be on the floor. Foul will be on Janelle Cook. Coach Aliko Dunk trying to plead his case, saying this should be a three-point play, but that's not the case at all. If you're just joining us, we want to thank you for joining us right here on HBCU League Pass Plus and the Black College Sports Network. It's a special day for Stillman. It's their senior day. It's their final home game, and it's also homecoming. We got to do it big, everybody. And speaking of doing big, how about another three-pointer from Stillman? Desiree Tyner lines up and knocks it down from downtown T-Town. 37-7. We got a 30-point lead in the first half for Stillman. As I mentioned, we're doing a lot of good things today, a lot of special things. As you'll notice, we've got multiple camera angles for today's contest. So we'll have it high, we'll have it low, we'll have it baseline, we'll have it fast. As Amaria Strong comes up with a steal, the ball will be knocked out of bounds, but it will go back over to Talladega. Along with that, we'll be having all sorts of content today as Talladega gets ready to take the ball back over in possession. But yes, we're going to be having all sorts of content presented today. We'll have special guests that will join us throughout both the women's broadcast and the men's broadcast today. And here's another steal by Stillman. So on the other end, here comes Lanesia Warner. Warner goes inside to Militant, but Militant cannot connect in the paint this time. She's been so good in that exact same spot all day thus far. The game remains a 30-point deficit as Stillman is on top 37-7. Here's Sharif. She's back into the game. Sharif will get it back over to Brooklyn Tolton. Tolton's going to square up from the top of the key, and she misses, hits the front iron. Here comes Lanesia Warner. Amaria Strong. And Strong has her shot blocked by Janiyah Wilder as she tries to go baseline and get an easy layup. But Wilder was not having it. Stillman is coached by Coach Aliko Dunk. He's in his 6th year. His record at Stillman is 79-81. Here's another three-point attempt. Hits the back iron by Lenasia Warner. Rebound goes over to Sharif. She's going to run the offense now. She'll swing it over to Michaela Tranzu. Tranzu's going to drive baseline, pulls up, misses the shot, but she was fouled on her way up, so she'll head over to the free throw line. Michaela Tranzu on the year, she is a 65% free throw shooter. Tranzu is the leading scorer on the team, averaging about 14.5 points in this contest. Starting to get a little loud in here. Here's Tranzu's first, a free throw attempt. Misses. Remains 37-7. As I mentioned, it is senior day, and man, there's a lot of seniors on the Stillman basketball team. Jamisha King's a senior. Lenasia Warner's a senior. Imani Wingbush-Gay is a senior. Amaria Strong is a senior. Desiree Tyner is a senior. And Corin Middleton is a senior. All of these young ladies have played key roles in the success of the Stillman women's basketball team this season. I know for sure Coach Dunk is like, man, I'm going to miss all these young ladies. But in the meantime, they're taking full advantage of their opportunity on senior day and playing in front of the home crowd for the final time. Senior days are special. They really are. On the other end, here's Wilder, and she hits the baseline jumper right there to make it a 37-9 game. Then Sharif comes up with a steal. She'll swing it over to Tranzu, and Tranzu's shot is off the mark. But it looks like we have a foul on the floor. Kelsey Smith is called for the foul. It's her first. All right, so back to the action. Here comes Sharif. Into the hands of Tranzu. Tranzu trying to get away from the defenders. And, oh, we're going to get a foul on there. Looks like the foul's going to be called on Farrah Pearson on the floor. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. As we mentioned earlier, you should look forward to all the great things we have coming up today on BCSN and HBCU League Pass with this broadcast, including some special guests. We'll hear from several dignitaries from the Stillman community, along with maybe an alumni or two. And I have to say R2 because clearly alumni is plural. Here's Wilder. Her shot on the baseline is off the mark. Rebound goes over to Jamisha King. Jamisha King gets it back over to Jordan Moody, who just checked into the game, and Moody almost loses the ball. She'll go inside to Desiree Tyner. Tyner bodies away and misses the shot, but rebound goes to Jamisha King. She misses on her putback attempt, but the ball is stolen. And how about this bounce pass that gets into the hands now of Warner. Warner gets by the defenders and scores. 39-9 is your score. What a scoring play right there by Warner, but also credit Stillman for swinging the ball around and looking for the best shot possible on that possession. 2:52 to go in the first half. Stillman on top, 39-9. Here's Tranzu. And Tranzu gets out of control and draws the shot. Well, it's called for a charge as Amaria Strong will draw the charge on the play. And I think Strong got a little too excited on that. And before things got out of hand a tad bit, Coach Aliko Doak's like, hey, come take this seat real quick. Good play, but the extracurriculars may have been just a little too much on that one. Back to the action, though. Here's Alexandria Heyman. She's going to spot up for three. Her shot hits the back iron. There's a run down for the rebound, and it goes over to Sharif. Approaching the 2-minute mark to go. 2 minutes before the half. Here's Sharif. Sharif's going to pull up for three. Her shot hits the back iron. Tyner tries to get the rebound instead. Tranzu comes up with the rebound, and she will score on the putback underneath the basket. Good box out by Tranzu, especially since she went around, under, and above Tyner on that one. Speaking of Tyner, Tyner is going to be called for a travel on this play. And Tyner's going to take a seat on the bench right now. Checking into the game now will be Kasia McKinney. 1 minute, 46 seconds to go. Your score, Stillman 39, Talladega 11. Here's a three-point attempt by Tranzu, and it is up, and it is good. Michaela Tranzu, one of the leading scorers on this team. Well, she is the leading scorer when it comes to points per game. She now has 7 points for Talladega. On the other end, Heyman tries her hand at a three. It is off the mark. 39-14 is your score. Here's Tranzu once again splitting defenders, does not make the shot, but she is going to head to the free throw line where she's a 69% free throw shooter. So at the line is Michaela Tranzu. Her team down by 25 at the moment with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. And her first free throw attempt is up and it's good. Gets the daps from her teammates, and actually they're pulling around a bunch of switches now. Katarina Patkova is going to line up now along the paint. Second free throw misses. Kasia McKinney comes up with the rebound. Into the hands of Jordan Moody. 1 minute to go until halftime. Coming up after halftime, we will give you snippets of what we have to offer on HBCU League Pass Plus and the Black College Sports Network. As the turnaround jumper is up and it is good by Jamisha King in the paint. As I mentioned, coming up at the half, we'll show you what we have to offer here on the Black College Sports Network and HBCU League Pass Plus. We'll have snippets of some of our best shows, which includes Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Dr. Kenyatta Cavill, Mike Washington, and Charles Bishop. We'll also have snippets from the BCSN Sports Wrap with our man A.D. Drew and Brian Fulford. You'll see a little bit of that, and who knows what else you'll see coming up at the half. As I mentioned, we could have a guest or two coming through during the men's and women's game, so you want to stay tuned and keep it locked right here for some of the best HBCU action on the NAIA level. All right, so it looks like we've got officials time. Well, we got a short timeout on the floor, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep it with you right here. So, in the meantime, let's take a look at what's going on in the SSAC as far as women's basketball. Clearly, these two teams are playing for positioning as we get ready for the SSAC women's tournament, which will take place in the capital city of Montgomery, Alabama, coming up in just a matter of days. In the standings right now, Loyola is number 1, Faulkner is number 2, Bruton Parker is 3rd. In 4th place is William Carey. University of Mobile is in 5th place. Blue Mountain State in 6th. Stillman right there on the edge of Blue Mountain. Actually, they're tied for 6th place, while Talladega is on the rear. So positioning, it will be important with these final contests happening. 23 seconds to go in the contest. Shot clock is off. Got more people flowing into today's contest. Starting to pack the gym. 18 seconds to go. And here's a drive by Jordan Moody, but it's off the mark. Up ahead of everyone will be Brianna Williams, and that'll be the final bucket of the half. So as we go into the half, it'll be Stillman on top by a score of 41-17. Let's give you a look at what's going on from a stats perspective in this contest. And clearly, as you take a look at the score, it has been all Stillman. Stillman right now, they are 17 of 34 on the evening for 50%. They are 6 of 13 from three-point range, and they've made 1 of 1 from the free throw line. For Talladega, they are 6 of 28 from the field goal range, 1 of 7 from three-pointers, 4 of 8 from the free throw. Let's take a look at our leading scorers. For Stillman, it's Farrah Pearson. She has 9 points. Desiree Tyner has 8 points. On the other side, it's Michaela Tranzu. She's got 8 points as well. As we take a look at what's going on the floor, a representative from Coca-Cola is here to present a $5,000 check, which will go towards scholarships here at Stillman College. So donations are always great, especially when you are helping out your local university and schools, and also helping out things from the HBCU perspective as well. So thank you, Coca-Cola, for making some things happen. So the Coca-Cola representative, he is there with President Dr. Cynthia Warwick. Once again, that is a $5,000 donation from Coca-Cola. So with that being said, we will head to our halftime break. We'll be back a little later on right here on BCSN and HBCU League Pass. Plus, we'll actually talk to Dr. Cynthia Warwick as well. Stay tuned.
People think unusual circumstances means complicated taxes. But for a TurboTax Live expert like me, it just makes things interesting. So, give us everything you've got.
What if I'm a professional gamer with a ton of expenses?
If they help drive views, let's talk deductions.
What if I'm in a state with no income tax, but my survival videos are viewed in 38 countries?
I can help. And if this is a business dinner, save those jerky receipts. An interesting life can mean an even greater refund. You do your thing. We've got your taxes. Intuit TurboTax Live.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new...
Okay.
I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire.
Crypto is complicated, but as a tax expert with crypto experience, you can hand your taxes off to me. You do your thing, we've got your taxes. Intuit, TurboTax Live.
T. Madden and Associates is a sophisticated and experienced law firm located in your neighborhood. We're turning injury to cash.
T. Madden and Associates obtained almost $2 million for my injury. They turned my injury to cash.
Now, we can't guarantee how much your injury is worth, but we've recovered millions for our clients.
Call T. Madden and Associates at 833-PAID-123. That's 833-PAID-123.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
And welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall on the campus of Stillman College. I'm Mo Carter, and I'm joined by a very, very special Stillman fan, but also supporter, but also she runs everything around here, and that's Dr. Cynthia Warwick, the president of Stillman College. First of all, welcome to the broadcast, Doctor. How have you enjoyed homecoming week thus far?
Oh, it's been exciting. We've had so many alumni return. The students are out energized. Lots of parties, bonfire, concerts, tailgating, food, everything. It's just been great.
Absolutely. And look, everything you just described, I saw that on my drive over. I wish I would have took a few more minutes to get here a little earlier, but at the same time, glad to see that the homecoming spectacle becomes a family reunion. It just becomes a spectacle to where everyone gets together, and it's just quite enjoyable. So it's good to see that. Now, clearly, along with that, you've had a lot of impact along with this university, and I know a lot of people were saddened when you announced that you'll be retiring very soon. What was the process that went into those thoughts about you moving on to the next level of your life?
Yeah, well, I've been here 6 years, and in 6 years we've accomplished a lot. Even this last year, we've raised over $10 million in federal grant funds, and foundations almost $2 million, and then from the state of Alabama, right under $1 million. So I'm leaving the college in this best place it could be for the last 20 years, and I think it's time for somebody new, younger person to come and take over and keep it going.
All right, Dr. Warwick, here's another thing, too. We know that you're a huge sports fan. Yes. I know that because one of the broadcasts back, I think in the month of December, I look over at the bench and you were sitting there serving as a special assistant coach.
Yes.
I asked Coach Aliko Dunk about that, and he said that was something that he wanted to try to make a better connection between athletics and administration. Can you talk about it, the experience, and what were you telling the young ladies on that evening?
Well, it was great. I got to go back in the locker room with them, and I found out they needed a bigger mirror, so we handled that. Just kind of getting to know what are your needs, how can I make things better, how can I make you more competitive, and unfortunately, that game we lost, but now I'm glad to see that we whooped in Talladega, so, it all balances out.
I totally understand. And look, just on a final note, clearly you've made such an impact or whatever, but can you just talk about what the impact of HBCUs have made to basically the everyday person whether it's an alumni or maybe a prospective student that may want to come to an HBCU in the future?
Yeah, well, I'm an HBCU alum, and those are the best days of my life. These are campuses where you can be who you are and nobody's gonna question you, your hair, your clothing, your walk, your everything about you. Our culture, is celebrated every day.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's a place where you're free to grow and develop and be who you want to be, and you have the faculty and staff here who are supporting you, supporting your goals, supporting your dreams, and that's why HBCUs are just so important.
Absolutely. Everything she said is 100% true. I'm an HBCU grad as well, and I love still doing work with HBCU League Pass, Black College Sports Network, and Stillman College as well. So thank you so much for not only joining us, but also for the opportunities, and we wish you the best in your retirement when that time goes. But look, at the same time, we want to make sure you're still in these stands supporting Stillman.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have to be on the stand because when I leave the game, I continue watching on HBCU League Pass.
There we go.
I see all of it and hear you, and so, that double overtime the other night with Yola.
It was something.
I didn't have to stay. I watched it on League Pass, so that was great. Thank you so much for being a great partner for Stillman and other HBCUs. It's just so important to connect our alumni, connect our stakeholders and audiences through this media.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, there you go. We got the plug right here from the president on that. So once again, we were joined by Dr. Cynthia Warwick. She's getting ready to retire very, very soon. But in the meantime, she's going to be cheering on Stillman, no matter if it's in person or also online with HBCU League Pass Plus.
Exactly.
We'll continue to enjoy our halftime festivities. Got about 6 minutes to go in the half. We will return with more Stillman Women's College basketball later on right here on HBCU League Pass Plus. We'll be right back.
As I mentioned earlier, John, you're the executive director of the Celebration Bowl. Just curious, how does one become an executive director of the bowl? What are the qualifications?
That's a good question because I still don't know the answer to that. It wasn't really something that I was pursuing. I was chief executive for 100 Black Women of Atlanta, and we actually ran a game, the Atlanta Football Classic, that featured Florida A&M and Tennessee State.
Okay.
And when ESPN was looking to launch the bowl game in Atlanta, you know, they reached out to me through the commissioner at that time to have a meeting with them.
Okay.
And so the conversation sort of led to you know, to an offer to join ESPN. And I initially was a little hesitant, but just simply because I was enjoying what I was doing. But I enjoy building things, and I saw this really as a great opportunity to build something institutional for historically Black colleges and universities, HBCUs, and to put to work at putting us in a space where we aren't as it relates to being with the other bowl games. And although the Celebration Bowl was sort of a legacy of the Heritage Bowl, which was a legacy of the Pelican Bowl, that it was our desire to make sure we were able to institutionalize this in a way that, you know, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, that this game would be very, very viable and would certainly be functioning at a level beyond what anyone would imagine today.
Absolutely. And so in 2015, that was the first year the Celebration Bowl was correct?
Correct.
How well, you said ESPN, so who pitched it to ESPN? Did ESPN come to somebody, or someone actually pitched it to them?
Well, Dr. Dennis Thomas, who was the commissioner of the MEAC at that time, approached ESPN with the idea to get engaged with the bowl game. It wasn't called the Celebration Bowl at the time; they had no name, because the Heritage Bowl, which preceded that, had actually gone defunct. It was back in 1999, around that time, and so pitched the idea to ESPN, and it actually took 10 years after that for the MEAC chancellors and presidents to vote to approve giving up the automatic qualifier to go to the playoffs and actually go to the bowl game. So initially, again, it was his idea to pitch it to them, you know, but as I tell people, you know, there's a lot of great ideas out there that are in file cabinets and a lot, some in the trash heap, but because it takes three things to actually put something together. It takes an idea, then it takes someone to finance it, then it takes someone to build it. So it's a three-phase. So certainly applaud Dr. Thomas for the idea. And I applaud, you know, ESPN stepping up and saying, hey, we had to finance this. And then, you know, we were fortunate that that we were able to come in with our team and actually build it. And so that's why we have what we have today.
That's awesome. The first time that I actually came to the Celebration Bowl was in 2019, and she say sports was just taking off, and I was working with BJ Jones and Charles Bishop. They were showing me the ropes, and I was trying to get on Radio Row. I couldn't get there. Something was going on that they stopped it or whatever, but I was amazed at how it was just like, for us, I had never seen that before. And it was a beautiful thing, and you guys have done an amazing job, truly an amazing job. Absolutely. So John, how does the Celebration Bowl continue to stay nimble in the era of television market share and ever-changing landscape? Simply put, how do fans define what is the growth of the Celebration Bowl?
That's a very good question. I like to, you know, I always begin with the end in mind when I'm looking at anything. And the ultimate goal for us was to build a Super Bowl, to build our Super Bowl.
Let's move on to number 2, Howard Bison. Yeah, those Howard Bison are back to playing for basketball. They're one of the hottest teams.
And welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall here on the campus of Stillman College, where Stillman leads 41-17 as we get ready for the third quarter. Mo Carter here on the broadcast with HBCU League Pass Plus and Black College Sports Network. We want to thank you for joining us here. If you're just joining us, you missed a whale of action from the beginning. And I say that because Stillman got off not only to a great start, but they exploded shooting well from the field on today. And then during the halftime break, we saw a $5,000 donation for scholarships from Coca-Cola being made to Dr. Cynthia Warwick. Then we talked to Dr. Cynthia Warwick about her time here as she's getting ready to retire. She's an HBCU grad. She talked about the importance of HBCUs and the future of the connection between Black College Sports Network, HBCU League Pass Plus, and Stillman College. Hey, let's run down some first half stats really quick. Stillman 17-34 from the field for 50%. Talladega 6 of 28 from the field. Stillman has made 6 of 13 three-pointers. Talladega 1 of 7. Talladega is 4 of 8 from the free throw line, while Stillman is 1 of 1 from the free throw line. When you look at turnovers, Talladega has 8. Stillman has 6. Points off a turnover is in favor of Stillman. They lead 11-5. Rebounds also in favor of Stillman, 24-18. Let's start off the third quarter now. Tornadoes with the ball. Here comes Tranzu, the leading scorer on the team, averaging about 14 points per contest. She's got 8 already. She hands it over to Sharif. Back in the hands of Tranzu. 15 seconds to go on the shot clock. Being guarded by Kelsey Smith. Now here's a drive on the baseline, and there's going to be a foul. And heading to the line will be Janiyah Wilder. On the season, Wilder is a 69% free throw shooter. Also through the year, Wilder's averaging about 10.5 points per game. And now you're kind of in that danger zone, too, if you're the opposition, because not only are you shooting free throws, you also have the cheerleaders trying to throw you off. And then the band is right behind those cheerleaders as well. She misses the first free throw. Here's the second free throw attempt. It is a make. She makes it 41-18 in favor of Stillman. Talladega putting on a little full court press. And Lanasia Warner throws the ball away. It's stolen back in the hands of Tranzu. Tranzu will get it over to Wilder. Wilder thought about a 3. Instead, Tranzu thinks about a 3. Now Wilder's going to take a 3. Rims in and out. Rebound goes to Talladega. They'll get it over to Tranzu. Over to Sharif. Sharif's three-pointer off the mark. Long rebound goes in the hands of Kelsey Smith. Here's Kelsey Smith throwing it up to Militon, and Militon misses the layup underneath the basket. Good hustle, though, by Militon, mainly because she was running in transition, and she got that ball up the best way she can in an awkward fashion because she was almost literally underneath or almost past the goal, to be exact, on that shot attempt. On the other side, here comes Talladega. 9 seconds to go on the shot clock. The turnaround jumper is up and off the mark by Tolton. Correction, by Lohman. Here's Kelsey Smith now with the ball for Stillman. Stillman going inside to Militon. Militon with the back step, but misses the shot completely. They throw it up court to Sharif. Sharif has to run down the ball, and she'll have to reset. She gets in the hands of Tranzu. Tranzu rolls around. And Tranzu will make some things happen. Here comes Tranzu. She will get it, and she will hand it off over to number 2 is Janiyah Wilder. And Wilder has the ball going around, and eventually she gets it over to Tranzu. And as we mentioned earlier, everyone, we were going to have guests from all walks of life here at Stillman. We talked to Dr. Cynthia Warwick, the president of Stillman College, earlier, and now we are being joined by Coach John Teasley, head coach of the men here at Stillman, in which his men will take on Talladega following the completion of this women's battle. Coach Teasley, last time I was chatting with you, man, we need some heart medicine after that double overtime victory a few days ago. How have you and your team responded since then and really got past all that? Because I know that was a game for the books, but it's still something that eventually you got to roll past and look forward to the future.
Yeah, you always dream about being games like that, and we had a good one here at home, so it worked out for us. But just playing a good team like Loyola, ranked nationally, and to be able to beat them here at Stillman was just a good deal for us.
Absolutely. So now, Coach, we're on the tail end of homecoming week, and I'm a former student athlete, so I remember every single thing the coach used to tell us about. Homecoming's for the fans, and for the students, and for the alumni. So with that being said, you as a coach, what do you emphasize to your players about still staying focused for the game you've got today?
We try to keep the same routine. We try to do the same things that we do on normal weeks and just prepare for teams like we always do. But, homecoming, it's a great thing for everybody to get to come back and see all our hard work and just to see the dedication. But each day of the week, we always just let them understand how important it is this Stillman College is to a lot of people and how important it is our job to do a good job for them when they come back home. And that's all we really do for them is just, they're going to get out and they're going to enjoy homecoming with all our people. And you can't really stop them from doing that. You can just only keep them focused and just try to keep them understanding how important this game is for a lot of people.
Yeah, we were just talking to your president, Dr. Cynthia Warwick, as Wilder knocks down a three-pointer, makes it a 16-point game now as the ball that goes out of bounds. We were talking to the president of the university. She was talking about all the importance of it, and clearly she's getting ready to retire, and there's going to be some new leadership. But she also just talked about how sports plays a major role in the college experience, the HBCU experience. So hearing that from your big boss, how does that make you feel, knowing that you guys play a key role in the everyday student life?
No, it's very important, and it's very honoring for us as athletes and coaches to have a president's support for our college. She understands athletics, which is very good for us in the athletic department, and which it makes our kids, just love her even more. And we hate she's leaving. I know I do, and she's been a very big help for us in all the success that we've had in the past, and not just competing at a high level or competing on the big stage, but also with graduation, our players, and all the important things that go behind the scenes that nobody really sees. But when your administration supports you, it's even bigger.
All right, Coach, we got a few more questions before we get you out of here as you get ready to take on Talladega. Let's go ahead and get that early coaching report as you get ready to take on the Tornadoes. What are some of the things we need to look for as far as execution from your players as you get ready to take on a Tornadoes team that has made deep runs in the postseason recently?
Yeah, they're going to be well coached. Coach Jackson does a good job with them. He's going to have them ready. It's our job just to execute together. Not a lot of turnovers, things that's really going to help us if the ball's not going in. And hopefully the ball's going in and everything's just working the way we're supposed to be doing. But if we limit turnovers, rebound the basketball, and play good transition D, I think we'll be okay today.
All right, Coach, and just taking a look at your roster, it's also senior day, and I'm looking at the roster. Derek Finkley is going to be a guy you're going to miss a lot. Devin Merriweather, everybody knows about his story, and Davion Dennis are the seniors listed on the roster. Can you just talk about the impact those young men have made on this program throughout your career here?
No, they're going to be honored today, and it's going to be bittersweet for me because I love each and every one of them. They've come in and they put the work in, and they bought into everything that we're doing here at Stillman, and I'm proud of them to see them make it all the way to the end, and it's hard to do, and these guys, they realized what they wanted to do in life, and they got it done, and I'm so proud of them for that.
All right, well, we want to thank you, Coach John Teasley, for joining us. We're going to go ahead and take a break and a timeout. Stillman on top 41-29 as the Tornadoes have cut into this lead. We'll be right back on HBCU League Pass Plus.
I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire.
Crypto is complicated, but as a tax expert with crypto experience, you can hand your taxes off to me. You do your thing, we've got your taxes. Intuit, TurboTax Live.
T. Madden and Associates is a sophisticated and experienced law firm located in your neighborhood. We're turning injury to cash.
T. Madden and his associates obtained almost $2 million for my injury. They turned my injury to cash.
Now, we can't guarantee how much your injury is worth, but we've recovered millions for our clients. Call T. Madden and Associates at 833-PAID-123. That's 833-PAID-123.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
And welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall here on the campus of Stillman College, where the Lady Tigers of Stillman lead Talladega 41-17. I'm Mo Carter here on the broadcast today. We just finished talking with the men's head coach, John Teasley, about his senior group that will be playing for the final time inside of this gymnasium and this upcoming matchup against Talladega. In the midst of all that, Talladega has went on a run. Right now, Talladega is on a 13-0 lead and run in the third quarter. Yes, 13-0 run in the third quarter, and this is now an 11-point game. And there's a steal by Talladega. Sharif is up above, past everyone. Look at the nifty move she makes, and she scores. All of a sudden, it is a 9-point game. 41-32. I don't know what the head coach of Talladega told his team at the half, but man, oh man, it is working. Akia Stanton is the head coach of Talladega, and whatever he told them, he lit a fire under them, because they have come out and they have outscored Stillman in the third quarter 15-0, and that has got them back into this game. It's now a 9-point contest inside Birthright Alumni Hall. And we've got a turnover on the play, and also it looks like Alexandra Heyman has left the game and gone into the locker room. Looks like she may have taken a hit to the face or the nose. We'll keep an eye out on her as another bucket is made by Talladega. They're now on a 17-0 run. This is a 7-point game, 41-34. I know Coach Aliko Dunk has not got to be pleased with the performance. Can they finally get on the board? Yes, they do right here with Jamisha King scoring. That's the first point of the third quarter for Stillman. Stillman leads 43-34. Remember, at the half, they led 41-17. Talladega has completely turned this game around. Here's Sharif being guarded by Jordan Moody. Gets it over to Wilder. Here's Sharif putting the moves on Moody. There's a reach in, though, by Lanasia Warner, and Lanasia Warner will be called for the foul.
It'll be a shooting foul.
So at the free throw line right now is Amila Sharif. She's got 9 points on the evening. Taking a look at her on the season as she misses the first free throw attempt. Sharif is a 64% free throw shooter. Man, oh man, I'll tell you this. If you are just joining us here on HBCU League Pass Plus and Black College Sports Network, you have missed an incredible turnaround and comeback by Talladega. Once down 41-17, the Tornadoes now trail the Lady Tigers by a score of 43-35. And all that happened in the early stages of the third quarter. Here's Jordan Moody. She's got to get the ball up across. Instead, Tranzu comes up with the steal. Tranzu throws it up to Petkova, and there's going to be a foul on the play. It's going to be a foul on the play. I'm good, man. Good. So at the free throw line right now will be number 10, Katarina Petkova. As we mentioned, it is homecoming week. It's senior day. It's family celebration day, roughly. And we're going to continue to have guest stars throughout the day. And now joining us is the one and the only Khalil Johnson from the men's basketball team. Last time we were watching the men in action right here on HBCU League Pass Plus, a double overtime victory against Loyola, a top 25 team in the NAIA ranks. Due to time constraints, we couldn't talk to you at the end of the game, Khalil, but man, what a contest that you and your teammates were able to pull out a victory in last week when we saw you here at Birthright Alumni Hall.
Yes, sir. We played with great energy that game. You know, if we get that all the time, we could be a real good team. So as long as we keep playing with energy like we should tonight, we're going to get a win.
Absolutely. Now, look, clearly it's homecoming week, and I'm a former student athlete in HBCU, so I know exactly what the coaches have told you about how it's for the fans, for the students, not the student athletes, the students, the alumni, the administration, and it's up to you guys to focus on the task at hand, and that's to win a ball game. How have you enjoyed your homecoming week, but also stayed focused on trying to get a W in your final home game of the season?
Oh, yeah, there's been all types of good people that's came on campus while I've been here. This is my first year at Stillman, so I've been like trying to enjoy this myself. So basically, like, we've just been working hard at practice, no matter if it's an hour, 30, 2 hours, like, we're going hard so we can prepare for these moments. So we doing good right now, so we try to get into this tournament and going on with a good win streak.
All right, let's go back to that previous game. I mean, it was a heck of a game. Let's go and just say that. You showed up, man, and your teammate Bailey Talley really showed out.
Man.
We've seen flashes of brilliance from him throughout the year, but probably was his coming out party. What did you think about your performance of him showing up the way he did against a team he looked at growing up because he's from the New Orleans area?
Yes, sir. Bailey Talley, he is a monster. He's a paint beast. He got a lot of intangibles, got a lot of skill, so he can bring a whole lot of things, whether it's shot blocking, rebounding, scoring. Like he can bring it all. So Bailey is a special player. So like keep being aware of Bailey Talley.
Good deal. So, of course, today is senior day, and the men's team is going to honor 3 seniors, including your teammates Davion Dennis from out of Atlanta, Georgia, Derek Finkley, your point guard from out of Mobile, and Devin Merriweather from Utah, Alabama. Man, what are you going to miss about playing with those guys?
Man, I played with Davion at Shelton State, so I'm going to miss him. Like, we've always been cool. So, like, but these are ones that I've grown on this year, Derek Finkley and Devin, we've all been real cool. So, like, it's going to be heartbreaking to see them go off and, you know, be a better man, be a husband, whatever they want to be. So, you know, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing what they got to do.
Also, we got a chance to talk with the president of the university, Dr. Cynthia Warwick, and you know she's a huge basketball fan, huge sports fan overall. She's retiring. I know you haven't been here that long, but what do you like about some of the things she's been able to do on campus while you've been here?
Oh, she's always made sure we got to stay on top of our grades if we want to be successful in our life. So as long as we keep that mindset of being great, a lot of good things going to happen in our lifetime. So
good deal. And on a final note, clearly, following the completion of the women's game, we'll have the men's game that'll feature you and the Tigers going up against the Tornadoes. From a player's perspective, what has to be done to get the W for the final time in the regular season today?
We got to start off early. Like, you know, we have trouble sometimes starting off early, but as long as we starting off early and doing what we do every day at practice, we go dominate. And you know, that's what I love to see when we dominate that Stillman. So.
All right, everyone, we've been joined by Khalil Johnson from the men's basketball team, one of the stars from the last victory on that top 25 upset against Loyola. We're hoping that he and his teammates can pull off another W on homecoming and senior day and every other whatever celebration of a day we've got here inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. So we appreciate you, Khalil.
Thank you for having me, man.
No problem, man. Good luck this afternoon as well. That's Khalil Johnson, one of the key players on the men's basketball team here at Stillman. We'll continue on with our coverage of the women's basketball game inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. It's a 6-point contest between the Lady Tigers and the Tornadoes of Talladega. 44-38 is your score. At the free throw line right now is Amir Brown for the Tornadoes, and she makes the first free throw attempt. So because she makes the first free throw attempt, she has now cut it down to a 5-point game. Amaya Brown on the year, she's only a 46% free throw shooter, but she goes 2 for 2 in that process, and all of a sudden, man, we got a 4-possession game. Four-point game, 1:24 to go in the third quarter. What a contest we have. What a comeback Talladega has made in this one. I don't know if Stillman may have just taken them lightly once they went into the halftime locker room with a huge lead, but right now, Talladega's outscored Stillman 23-3 in the third quarter to get themselves back in this contest. Here's a three-point attempt by Stillman. It is off the mark in the corner. That three-point attempt was attempted by Lanasia Warner. Here comes Tranzu, the leading scorer on the team coming to the game. She pulls up for a shot. Her shot is off the mark, but a rebound goes over to Brown, and we're going to have a tie-up on the floor. Actually, we're going to have a timeout. The possession will remain with Talladega, so we're going to keep it locked here, though, for the short timeout. If you are just joining us, or if maybe you turned the channel or did something and were wondering how in the world this went from 41-17 at the half to 44-40, here's what happened. In the third quarter, Talladega came out. They jumped out on a 13-0 run. Currently, right now, they have outscored the Tigers 23-3 in the third quarter, and that's why we have a 4-point game. During that process, your leading scorers are Michaela Tranzu for Talladega, number 5, with 15 points. Amila Sharif with 10 points. Stillman has gone cold in this third quarter, with only their leading scorer being Farrah Pearson with 10 points and Desiree Tyner with 8 points. Right now, Stillman is 18 of 46 from the field for 39%. Talladega 13 of 43 from the field for 30%. And the thing about Talladega right now is that they have the momentum. They've got the big Mo. Here's Tranzu now. She's got the rock. She's trying to work it inside. Instead, she's going to drive. She thought about pulling up. Instead, she will pull up and misses the shot. But there's a rebound, a putback, and a score right here. And with an extra free throw, this can be a 1-point game. The shot and basket was good by Janiyah Wilder. And here's Wilder. She gets the three-point play the old-fashioned way, and all of a sudden, we have a 1-point game. 44-43. Stillman still on top, but they've got to find a way to get the ball across court, and they do, but it goes out of bounds off the hands of Lanasia Warner. Talladega has a chance to take their first lead of the day. Here comes Tranzu. Tranzu trying to get by Kelsey Smith. Smith is on her tightly. No shot clock. We're down to 10 seconds. Here comes Tranzu picking up the screen. Tranzu with the crossover. She's going to drive, go up and under. Her shot hits the side of the backboard. Kelsey Smith's got the rock. She throws it up to Amaria Strong. Strong's last second shot is off the mark, and that's where we're going to end the third quarter. So after 3, we've got a 1-point game. Talladega outscored Stillman 26-3. Get ready for an exciting fourth quarter right here on HBCU League Pass Plus.
At HBCUs, there's no limit to who we can be. Black and inspired and thriving. Black and magnetic and sing. From the classrooms to the quad, our passion is our purpose. We are leaders and legacy. So when you look at what we accomplish next, you'll know where it started. For who you are and who you want to be, we're here.
I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire? I'm a millionaire? I'm not a millionaire.
Crypto is complicated, but as a tax expert with crypto experience, you can hand your taxes off to me. You do your thing, we've got your taxes. Intuit, TurboTax Live.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out Pizza Hut.
It's like a loop machine.
And welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall here on the campus of Stillman College. One of my favorite songs, This Is How We Do It, is being played right now by Montel Jordan. And look, after that third quarter, Talladega's telling Stillman, this is how we do it when it comes to comebacks. Once down, 41-17 at the break. Talladega outscored Stillman 26-3 in the third quarter. And let's give you those third quarter stats. In the third quarter, Talladega went 8 of 18 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. For Stillman, they went 1 of 12 from the field, 0 for 3 from three-point range. That has been the difference in this contest, as they had a 26-3 run in the third quarter, and all of a sudden we've got a 1-point game as we get free throw attempts that are coming up from Jamisha King. Here's Jamisha King's first free throw attempt. It's up and it's good. Can she connect on the second one? And she does. Jamisha King makes it a 3-point game. Here comes Talladega. Dega gets it over Sharif. Sharif being guarded by Farrah Pearson, and we're going to have a travel. Coach Akia Stanton is trying to plead her case, saying that her player's foot did not move, but that wasn't the case. But look what happens here. Sharif comes up with the steal off the deflected pass. Talladega has a chance to either draw within 1 or tie the ball game with a 3. Sharif being guarded by Kelsey Smith. She gets it over to Tranzu. Tranzu go between Zalay. Here's a three-point attempt by Wilder. Rims in and out, but there's a loose ball foul on the play. So it'll be the Tornadoes ball under the basket. And there's another bucket right there, and it's a 1-point game once again. Man, oh man, this home crowd is shocked inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. And there's a turnover by Jamisha King. And the ball will go back over to Talladega. Coach Aliko Dunk really getting on his young ladies right now, telling them, look, just because Talladega has come all the way back and made this a game doesn't mean that they need to make critical mistakes in this fourth quarter in the process. How about this? Here's a steal, but goes out of bounds. Good hustle by LaNasia Warner. So here we go, Talladega now with the ball, down by 1 with a chance to take the lead. Here comes Wilder pushing the ball up court. Ball goes out of bounds. They're saying last touch by Stillman. It will remain with the Tornadoes. 8:36 to go in the fourth quarter and in regulation. Wilder with the ball off the inbounds. She'll get it over to Tranzu. Tranzu on the day, 15 points, which is over her average. She comes off the screen. Start about a 3 instead. She'll dribble and pull up for a bucket. And how about this? Talladega takes their first lead of the day. They're on top, 47-46. Stillman has to find a way to get things going. Can they get it going right here? They dump it inside. Here's Tyner. Tyner goes off the glass and scores. Desiree Tyner gives her team the lead once again. 48-47 is the score. We're at 8 minutes to go in regulation. Here's Sharif coming off the screen. Tyner picks her up. Gets over to Wilder. Wilder will get a screen from Tolton. Wilder initially loses the ball but gets it back over to Sharif. Sharif's got to get the ball up, and it is blocked by Tyner. Up ahead of everyone is Kelsey Smith. Smith will not score on the play. Takes a hard fall going into the wall. Thank God we've got that rubber cushioning over there. She'll head over to the free throw line instead. Good play by Tyner on the block, and then good quick responses by Kelsey Smith to get out ahead of the crowd and going down court and get the field goal attempt to go up. Draws the foul in the process, and let's see if she can knock down these free throw attempts. Kelsey Smith, not the best free throw shooter on Stillman's team. She's only a 49% free throw shooter, but she does knock down the first of 2. Here comes the second free throw attempt by Kelsey Smith. It's up, and it is good. Kelsey Smith's going to check out. Jordan Moody's going to replace her, and she's going to get a breather in that process. Here we go, everyone. Jordan Moody guarding Petkova. Tornadoes get it over to Sharif. Sharif drives baseline. Her shot's off the mark. Rebound by the Tornadoes. The putback is no good. And it looks like that's Jamisha King comes up with the rebound. Here comes Jordan Moody. She's going to push it up. She gets it over to Lanasia Warner. Back in the hands of Moody. Back over to Warner. Warner wants to get it inside to King. She does. King squares up. Turn around. Bucket and one. Jamisha King with the turnaround jumper and one. She's about to get a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Jamisha King now with 6 points on the evening. King goes to the line to shoot one. She's a 72% free throw shooter on the evening. And I hope at some point in time, man, I can get my cameraman to kind of show this crowd we've got here inside of Birthright Alumni Hall. It is getting packed in here. Might get a point to where we're standing room only. We shall see. And Jamisha King gets the free throw to go. 3-point play. The old-fashioned way. 53-47 is the score. And as we talked about having all kinds of special guests on today, we now have the boss man coming through. It is Mr. Roy Evans, who has been here the whole time. He's just been making sure the broadcast works correctly, fine, well, and dandy. In the meantime, Roy, you have seen this whole entire game. I mean, what a comeback by Talladega thus far.
Bo, this is completely a different game than what it was in the first half. You looked up, and of course, at halftime, I was taking care of a couple of other things, talking to some of the coaches and getting in and then getting some things together with the crew. And I came back, and I looked up, and it was 45-40-something. And I was like, wait, when did that happen?
Yeah, it happened in the midst of a 26-3 third-quarter outburst by Talladega to get them back into the game. And right now, we're 53-47. Stillman has extended their lead after falling behind not long ago. So here we go. Here is Jamisha King. King's going to get it out to Jordan Moody. She thought about a three-pointer. She's got 8 seconds to go on the shot clock. Back in the hands of King. Now over to Warner. Warner's got 4 seconds. She's got to get off a shot. She does. It grazes the rim and goes off the mark. That's the men's. So here we go. Back on the other end. It's the Talladega Tornadoes trying to get something going. It'll be Tranzu. Tranzu's shot is blocked by Desiree Tyner. She throws it up to Jordan Moody, and Moody's going to get a foul following this collision between her and Petkova.
So, Mo, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
As you've been sitting here, of course, paying attention to everything that's going on, What did you see that Talladega did differently coming into the second half?
They put on pressure coming out the gate. They got the first bucket, and then they went full court press, which we had not seen from them. We saw half court traps, but not so much a full court press. Then I also feel that Stillman got a little lackadaisical in their process as far as execution, to where they're like, hey, we're up by 24 points. You know, there's no way that Talladega is going to come back against us on our homecoming home floor with a packed house. But Talladega had other plans today.
Well, and that's one of the things that you definitely have to pay attention to, and I know that Coach probably preached that to the ladies while he was in the locker room. This is still a whole nother half left of this game. Don't lose focus. Don't give up too many easy things. And, you know, like you said, if the pressure made the change, it's still an opportunity for them to get in there. And, you know, right now, they've got a short or small lead, but it's being cut.
Absolutely, and the lead gets cut even more with Transu getting the kind bounce right here. She makes it a 4-point game, 53-49. Here's Heyman. She's got to get the ball up. She is double teamed. She does get it to Jamisha King. Oh, my goodness. Look, Amaria Strong was wide open. She did not see her. On the other end, here comes Lohman. Lohman gets it up to Transu, and Transu makes this a one-possession game, Roy.
Well, we are 53-51, 4 minutes, 55 seconds left here in this contest. As you stated, it is homecoming, and right now, Talladega has silenced this Stillman crowd.
Absolutely.
And you would think that this is when the crowd would rally, the band would get into it, and kind of give the ladies a little bit more energy to play into.
Agreed. So we got a timeout on the floor. Let's take it with them. 4:46 to go, 53-51. We'll be right back on HBCU League Pass Plus.
I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. I'm not a millionaire.
Crypto is complicated, but as a tax expert with crypto experience, you can hand your taxes off to me. You do your thing, we've got your taxes. Intuit, TurboTax Live.
T. Madden and Associates is a sophisticated and experienced law firm located in your neighborhood. We're turning injury to cash.
T. Madden and Associates obtained almost $2 million for my injury. They turned my injury to cash.
Now, we can't guarantee how much your injury is worth, but we've recovered millions for our clients. Call T. Madden and Associates at 833-PAID-123. That's 833-PAID-123.
Pizza Hut stuffed crust is the crust that made crust good. Topped and stuffed with over a half-pound of cheese. What are you so afraid of? Loving it? Original stuffed crust, just $12.99. Only from Pizza Hut. No one out Pizza the Hut.
All right, welcome back to Birthright Alumni Hall on the campus of Stillman College. Stillman's Lady Tigers on top of the Talladega Tornadoes by 2, 53-51, taking the ball out under the goal will be Amaria Strong. She gets it over to Alexandra Heyman. Now into the hands of Kelsey Smith. Down to Jamisha King. Jamisha King, the turnaround jumper is good. Jamisha King with the bucket right there to extend Stillman's lead. Jamisha King now with 9 points. Can Transu answer? Her shot is off the mark. Jamisha King comes down with the rebound. Gets it in the hands of Amaria Strong. Now into the hands of Kelsey Smith. Here's Smith. Gets it over to Lanasia Warner. Warner over to Heyman. 14 seconds to go on the shot clock. Here comes Jamisha King. The long two, it's off the mark. Ball will be knocked out of bounds, and it goes back over to Talladega. In the meantime, let's talk about this. It's time for the Align for Life second half adjustments. This is brought to you by Align for Life Chiropractors, located at 1800 Jonesboro Road in Atlanta, Georgia. Call them at 404-383-1110 to set up your appointment. Shout out to Dr. Williams and Dr. Fowler. Both are proud members of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. So, Roy, we're under 4 minutes to go, 4-point game, and we're kind of in a dangerous territory if you're Stillman trying to hold on. And it almost seems like Talladega really still has that momentum coming out of the locker room, even though Stillman has the lead.
Well, Mo, one of the things that ladies have to start doing, and I'm sure Coach is pushing this to them, don't start playing not to lose. You're in a position right now, you have to continue to play to win this game. You've got to be aggressive, but they've got to play under control. You've got to be quick, but you can't be in a hurry. You know, these are those conundrums of basketball that you're looking at that they're needing to get into right now. The defense, you know, holding on to this 4-point lead is going to be important for them. Because remember, this Stillman team is an up and down team. They like to get out and run on the break. Half-court offenses are not really their best thing, but when they're able to get out and get into the open floor, they are magic.
And Wilder misses both of her free throw attempts. Speaking of the Stillman team, this game is not only important because it's homecoming, but it's also important for the SSAC standings as Farrah Pearson gets the rock, drives baseline, gets it back over into the hands of Amoria Strong. Now inside to Tyner. Tyner up and under. She'll throw it back out over to Strong. Strong inside to Farrah Pearson. Good ball movement, and there's a bucket by Pearson.
And Mo, that's exactly what I was talking about. Be fast, but not in a hurry. They were patient in that offensive set and were able to keep the defense on their heels while still moving and getting that ball into the open player's hand. Absolutely. So I was talking about the standings. Right now, Stillman is tied for 6th place. They need a victory today as they are tied with Blue Mountain Christian. And there's a huge difference between being 6th going into the tournament and 7th going in the tournament as far as who you will face in those first rounds. So I know good and well Coach Dunk is excited about trying to get 6th place. I can tell you that. But they got to get the victory first. Most definitely. They've got to get into that and hope that happens. And I'm not sure if Blue Mountain is playing today or who they have going against them, but that is definitely some scoreboard watching that will probably be going on. Blue Mountain is taking on Bruton Parker as we speak. If we get some sort of topics to play, I'll be able to pull up live stats for that contest. In the meantime, here's Sharif. Sharif almost loses the ball. 5 seconds to go on the shot clock. They've got to do something, and there's a tie-up appears, or did they get a timeout? All right, jump ball, so the ball will return to the Tigers. We've got 2:20 to go. 2:28 to be exact to go in regulation, 57-51. Mo, this last 2.5 minutes is going to be crucial. Because, of course, as you stated, theoretically, we're only a 2-possession game right now. With 2 threes, if they can hit them. And Coach Dunk calls a timeout. Absolutely. So we'll keep it right here. So if we're Coach Dunk, what is that great basketball mind telling them? You know, right now, I think, again, do what you've always done. Be quick, but don't be in a hurry in getting some things going and making it happen. All right, so I told you I was going to do a little scoreboard watching as we were talking. And at the moment, yes, Bruton Parker is in action against Blue Mountain. And I went to Blue Mountain's website, and I told you we were going to do this during the break. Let's see if we can get an update on what's going on with that game as we speak. And the crowd is starting to get into it as well, knowing what they have on hand. And there's a bucket right there by Stillman to extend their lead. It's now a 9-point game. As we talked about, Blue Mountain is down to Bruton Parker 59-55, about a minute to go in that game. A victory today for Stillman will get them in the 6th place with a loss by Blue Mountain over Bruton Parker. Back to the action here. And we got a stoppage to play. So Tranzu will take the ball out from the side near her bench.
Her team down by 9. Gets it over into the hands of Janiyah Wilder. Here's Wilder, being guarded closely by Amaria Strong. Strong with that strong defense. She picks up a dribble, and they're going to call a foul. And they're going to call it on Amaria Strong as Kelsey Smith was reaching in. I thought they might have got it on Smith because of the reach in, but instead it'll be on Strong. 60-51 is your score. Janiyah Wilder will actually go to the free throw line now. We are scoreboard watching as well as Wilder misses her first free throw attempt. Bruton Parker leads Blue Mountain Christian 62-55, 30 seconds to go in that game. Here at Birthright Alumni Hall, Stillman on top, 60-51 over Talladega. Here's a second free throw attempt by Wilder. It's up and it is good. So with that bucket right there, Wilder now has 11 points on the evening. Your leading scorer for Stillman is Farrah Pearson with 12. In this quarter, Stillman has outscored Talladega 16-9. That's really been the difference after Talladega outscored Stillman 26-3. Roy Jones is back again, and Roy, I told you we're going to do a little scoreboard watching. Right now, Bruton Parker has a 62-55 lead over Blue Mountain Christian. With a victory by Bruton Parker, and Stillman hangs on. They will be the 6th seed heading into the SSAC tournament, which will be played down at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex down in Montgomery, Alabama in the upcoming days.
Well, Mo, and I'm sure right now that's what Coach Duncan's saying about. Right now, let's worry about what we can control. Focus on the mission that we have at hand, and that is winning this game. That was a big three-pointer there a few moments ago that really kind of got the crowd going a little bit more into the process. And that's something that they needed because the crowd had become stagnant.
They did.
You don't want a stagnant crowd on homecoming.
Not at all. And I mean, this is a great crowd. At some point, I really want our camera folks to really show what kind of crowd we have, because this one has been state of the art. I mean, almost reminded me of the crowd I saw a few weeks ago right here on HBCU League Pass Plus when we had Tuskegee and Miles going back and forth down there in Fairfield.
Well, it's definitely, man, and they're looking forward. And, you know, of course, people are still filing in. Of course, the men's game coming up after this one. And trust me, I was out in the lobby, and there are a lot of people still out in the lobby coming in as they continue to move forward. As we get set back here to play, they get it out.
Absolutely.
Oh, that was a complete error. The young lady was not paying attention. Her teammate was running towards the basket, but the Talladega defender was just standing there.
Absolutely. And here's Tyner with another huge block. They throw it up court to Lanesia Warner. Warner has Tyner. Warner,
what is she doing?
She just paused.
I think maybe Coach Duck is having a run clock right now.
I mean, I'm not going to go against a coach's wishes, but that was a very easy 2-point opportunity, but for both either Warner to take it or to get it over to Tyner, and she didn't do either. And it looks like Tyner.
Yeah, they're not really sure what. Her finger. Okay, so she has an injury.
Okay.
She was coming down doing something with her hand, so maybe that's why it was not sent to her. And I think the other young lady thought that maybe the timeout had been called.
Gotcha. All right, they go inside now to Farrah Pearson. Pearson, the turnaround in the bucket easily.
And just like that, with 1 minute, 5 seconds left, we've got a 10-point lead by the Tigers.
Here comes Petkova. Now over to Wilder. Wilder's got to do something there now at the 1 minute mark. And here's a steal right here by Lanesia Warner. Warner out in front of everybody. And what a block by Wilder, but the rebound by Jamisha King. She's there and she scores the bucket.
Mo, actually that was more of a turnover than it was a steal. The young lady from Talladega just lost the ball and it laid into her hands. And so, but she did a great play. She got back on defense and was able to get that block for her mistake. But the defender was right, or the offensive rebound was right there for the Lady Tigers.
And we got a turnover.
Yeah.
And look, Roy, I don't mean to cut you off, but this is how important that 6th seed is. If you are the 6th seed, you get a bye just like every other seed 1 through 6. You don't have to play next week Wednesday because number 7 is going to play number 10, number 8 is going to play number 9 on Wednesday. If Stillman can hold on and beat Talladega in these final 30 seconds, Stillman will be the 6th seed. They will not have to play until 10:45 on Thursday morning at the Crampton Bowl Multiplex down in Montgomery. So extra day of rest, extra day of preparation, extra day of practice will always go in the favor of the team that ain't got to play.
Yeah. And Bo, you know what? It just, as we were sitting here looking at that information, it just dawned on me again that Talladega is now in the Southern State Conference. So I completely forgot. Something I'm like, well, why would a game that has not a conference opponent have that such thing? But that's right, they are in conference now.
Yes, sir.
So this is a huge game.
Agreed.
As their homecoming game.
Plus, on top of that, you know, this is going to be a rivalry I feel that's going to grow, especially because of not just being in conference, but also 2 HBCUs along the I-20 corridor
in Alabama.
From the size and structure. And here's a three-point attempt right there by LaNasia Warner, and that might be the dagger into Talladega.
As she blows kisses at the crowd.
Yes, she does. Here we go now. It's Janelle Cook gives it over to Petkova. Petkova's three-pointer off the mark. Jamisha King comes up with the rebound. And Jamisha King's going to dribble it out, gives it over to Kelsey Smith. Smith's going to cross half court. And we're down to 3, 2, 1. And that is it. Despite a comeback by Talladega, Stillman is able to pull off a 67-52 victory over Talladega here on homecoming and senior day. What a game for Coach Aliko Dunk and company in their regular season finale. Let's run down the stats for you, and then we'll tell you how this game will impact the rest of the SSAC standings. So here we go. Stillman, 25 of 56 from the field for 44%. Talladega, 18 of 57. Talladega was 2 of 11 from three-point range, while Stillman was 7 of 18 from three-point range. Free throw, Stillman was 7 of 8 from the free throw line, while Talladega was 14 of 24 from the free throw line. Points over turnover, Stillman had 17, Talladega had 20. Your leading scorers for today, it was Farrah Pearson with 14 points for Stillman, and it was Michaela Tranzu with 21 points for, it was Tranzu with 21 points for Talladega. All right, everyone, so Quickly, we were able to catch Coach Aliko Dunk following this contest. Coach, your team was able to pull off a 67-52 victory. First of all, congratulations. You win homecoming, you win your season finale, and you get some momentum going into the tournament. First and foremost, Coach, how do you feel after getting this W? Then we'll get into the other part of this game.
It's always great to get a win. No matter how you get it, it's great to get a win. We just get happy to get out of here today.
All right, Coach. Your team. Okay, hold on. Here's what we're going to do, everyone. Coach is going to go do his, go participate senior day, and we'll bring him on back. So here's what we're going to do in the meantime, everyone. Let's check out our seniors for right now. Yeah, I know we got a lot going on. Here's Jamisha King, first and foremost. We don't want to take Coach Aliko Dunk from this very, very special moment that he's got. Here's Jamisha King, first and foremost.
Sorry for that interruption there, but we wanted to make sure that we got the seniors engaged in this and give them
No, I totally understand. Coach Aliko Dunk should not be missing this situation for senior day in this scenario. First of all, we're honoring Jamisha King. She is a senior. Played a great game today, as a matter of fact. Jamisha King, a 5'11" senior forward from Panama City, Florida. Up next is Desiree Tyner, senior forward from Lochapoka, Alabama.
Wait a minute, what did you just say?
Lochapoka, Alabama. It's in the Montgomery media market, so I had to cover that when I was working as a sports anchor down in Montgomery. As a matter of fact, a person that made their name in coaching was Coach Frida Freeman Jackson, the head coach of Alabama State University's women's basketball team. She led them to a lot of success at Lochapoka before eventually taking over the reins of Alabama State.
All right.
Coming up next is Corin Millerton, a 5'10" senior center from Dayton, Ohio. Millerton playing a great game today as well. Millerton scoring a lot of points early on for Stillman in their victory today. Up next, we've got Kelsey Smith, probably the best defender on this team that we have seen throughout the entire day. Kelsey Smith, a senior guard from out of Birmingham, Alabama. Here comes Kelsey Smith and the Smith family. And I'm pretty sure Kelsey probably had to get a lot of extra tickets, so she's right there from Birmingham.
Right.
I mean, we're looking at a 40-minute drive down I-20. Kelsey Smith being honored by her family. And for those of us that's looking at it on the broadcast, it's senior day. So you're not only having your parents, potential other relatives, you're also being rewarded a jersey from your head, a frame jersey as well. I had to get my jersey and put it in my own frame when I was a senior, but it's good to see that they're doing the gesture. But of course, they're getting it over from Coach Aliko Dunk. They're also celebrating with Dr. Cynthia Warwick, the president of Stillman College, and also Coach Whittle, the athletic director here. Terrence Whittle, head baseball coach and athletic director. Up next, we've got Lanasia Warner from Columbus, Georgia, 5'7" senior guard. Lanasia Warner has made so many plays for the Lady Tigers this year, especially from three-point range.
Yeah, most definitely.
Coming up next is Amaria Strong, another great three-point shooter on this Stillman team. Amaria Strong is from Starkville, Mississippi, not far away from where we are right now as we speak. Amaria Strong, another one of those dual threat players in the basketball realm. Great defensive player, great offensive player. And when she gets in the groove, she can definitely score without any problem. So here is Amaria Strong being honored here on Senior Day.
Definitely, and I know that they're excited about this. We're going to get Coach back over here in just a second to continue your interview with him. And
I've got some good news for him, too.
There you go. Oh, we're going to do Senior Day for the men's.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to continue on with Senior Day for the men.
For the men, let's get that going.
There are three seniors for the men's team. During the women's broadcast, we did talk to Coach John Teasley about what these young men mean to the program. All right, so let's take a look at now the Senior Day for the men's team. We're getting things going. They're also being greeted by Coach John Teasley, head coach of the men's basketball team, Dr. Cynthia Warwick, the president of Stillman College, who we will all miss as she is getting ready for the end of her tenure, as she will retire very, very soon.
Okay, as we come back, we've got our camera back here.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's Devin Merriweather.
Please give him a hand, Devin Merriweather.
Devin Merriweather, who only had one semester left to play, so he could not even join the team and play full-time until January. And what an impact he had on this program, especially lifting it up when he first got here and elevating them to the success that they have. Coming up next is Derek Finkley, and man, I can't say any more about Finkley than anyone else because this guy has been the heart and soul of this team, the point guard of the squad, making big shots when you needed him to make it at the most. When you talk about people you're going to miss on this squad, Derek Finkley is definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think right now that Coach Teasley is going to be missing out on some of his players. But you know, one of the things that we can say about this Stillman squad and Coach Teasley, he reloads. He doesn't. What's the other one? All he does is reload. He doesn't rebuild.
He doesn't rebuild. He just reloads.
He reloads.
Absolutely. So Derek Finkley, point guard. I'm not sure if Coach gives captains, but if he does, he definitely would have a C on his chest for sure.
Most definitely. And I think looks like we've got another presentation. They thought it was the last one.
We should have Davion Dennis. Yes. Davion Dennis, senior guard from out of Atlanta, Georgia. When we talked to Khalil Johnson during the women's game, he was like, man, I'm going to miss this guy the most because we played together at the junior college level.
Okay.
So they've known each other for a number of years. So it's definitely going to be somebody he is going to miss fully. Davion Dennis, another combo player where he can guard any position, and then at the same time, he becomes a mismatch for the opposition offensively. And one thing I love about Davion Dennis, each and every week you recognize him because of the bright colored shoes.
Yeah.
Davion would always have the highlighter yellow color shoes, and usually
George Wormley, majored in biology from Mobile, Alabama.
and now, hey, let's give some shout outs to the student assistants. First of all, here is George Wormsley. And for anyone that does not know, student assistants, grad assistants, they play a major role in helping with a coaching staff as well, because they either can be an extra coach, they can be an extra body in the preparation. Yeah. Heck, they could be an extra person to help you practice if somebody's out with injury or if somebody is out, maybe because they're sick or something. So, and look at this. Coach John Teasley is presenting Dr. Cynthia Warwick a special edition jersey for her support, not only as a wonderful ambassador for all HBCUs and the president, but also for being such a great supporter of athletics just in general. So a special gesture by the entire athletic department for providing this to Dr. Cynthia Warwick, who will be enjoying her last homecoming as the president of Stillman College. All right, so after all those special times, we are now joined by Coach Aliko Dunk once again. Clearly, Coach Dunk, you had something more special to go ahead and do. We'll get to the senior ceremonies in just a second, but first and foremost, man, hard-fought game by your team. Let's just let the people know how hard that victory was.
Well, the last game of the year, homecoming, everybody's interested in the homecoming activity.
Yes.
Trying to keep them focused and engaged in what we had going on. The business at hand was pretty tough, but we gutted it out.
Now, clearly, Coach, your team had one of the best starts I've probably seen this entire season, up by 24. But, man, that Talladega team did not quit. They actually outscored you 26-3, and all of a sudden we've got a one-possession ball game going into the fourth.
Yeah, they got a lot of fight in them. They've been fighting all year. They've been battling a little injuries and sickness, and, if you can never catch a rhythm, it can be tough for you. But that team right there is tough. They're mentally and physically tough, and their coach does a great job with them.
As you were going into the fourth quarter with your team only up by a bucket, what did you tell them on that bench as you come into the fourth quarter? Because clearly this fourth quarter made a huge difference in this contest, especially since your team was able to outscore them 23-9 in the final quarter.
Well, I knew coming down the stretch, we had to execute. We had to make some shots, and we had a lot of shots that just didn't go in or we turned the ball over. So once we settled in the fourth quarter and moved the ball a little bit, we got really good shots at the basket, and unfortunately we made them.
Coach, it's homecoming week. I've been a student athlete. You've been a student athlete. I'm pretty sure the message from the coaches is always the same, about, remember, homecomings for the fans and the students and the alumni and the administration. How did you keep your team focused with all the activities going on, especially with such a big game happening today?
Well, in practice, I said, just give me that 2 hours. I need your 2 hours. I need your undivided attention. I need total focus because this is super important going into the tournament next week. We wanted to go into the tournament next week with a little momentum, and I think we did that.
All right, Coach, speaking of the tournament, we were doing a little scoreboard watching. You were tied with Blue Mountain Christian for 6th place. Blue Mountain has now fallen. So, if everything goes out right, clearly I'm going to wait for the full expectations. Where are we at? I had it on my computer. Okay, so let's just say that if you are able to secure the 6th seed, which I think you are, you won't have to play on that first night, and you won't have to play until Thursday. How important would that be as far as preparation and practice?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, any day you can get extra day of rest you can get, and an extra day of preparation is huge going into a tournament.
Okay, all right, we're back. We got lost for momentarily. Okay, extra day of preparation and prep, you were saying, Coach?
Yes, for a really, really good team. The extra day is always huge for us because that gives us a day to break down a little bit more film, execute a little bit more on the practice court. So just that extra day is great for us.
All right, Coach, and just on a final note, today you honored a number of seniors on this team. A lot of seniors, as a matter of fact. Don't want to go through them individually because I don't want to leave anybody out. Can you just talk about the impact the senior crew has had this year on the squad?
My seniors were great this year. They've been in the fire with me. Some of them 2 years, some of them 3 years. They understood the mission. They understand what I stand for and the things that I look for. And I can't be more proud of this group of seniors.
Okay, and Coach, just on a final note, let's talk about another supporter, Dr. Cynthia Warwick. We know this is her final homecoming as the president. She will retire at the end of the term. We know you've had her on the sidelines with you or whatever. Can you just talk about the support that she has given, not only to the university, but also to athletics?
Oh, man, Dr. Warwick is great. She's constantly reaching out to us, asking us what we need, and she's doing everything in her power to get the things that we need to be successful. We're really going to miss her.
Absolutely. We definitely will miss her as well. But in the meantime, Coach, congratulations. You get a senior day, a homecoming victory. And now up next is the SSAC tournament title. We want to wish you the best of luck next week in Montgomery, Alabama.
Thank you so much.
No problem, Coach. No problem. All right, everyone. We're going to go ahead and wrap up the women's game right here with this interview. When we return a little later on, we'll have the men's game. You're watching HBCU basketball right here on HBCU League Pass Plus. Stay tuned.
When you work in IT, complaints are part of the job.
Bill says the coffee's weak today.
But since CDW helped us switch to Mac, everyone's happier. Dan from Finance likes getting performance without a big price tag. Phoebe digs the power of the Apple M1 chip. Mac is easy to manage, compatible with all our apps, and came pre-configured by CDW. Now we're even getting compliments.
That was Bill again, says he loves his new Mac. He's right about the coffee.
Hey, babe, meet us at the bottom of the trail.
Oh, man. Hey.
Open up. The redesigned Chevy Silverado with a sophisticated high-tech interior.
Open the door.
It's easy to forget it's a truck.
Thanks.
Nice truck.
It was.
Find new style. Find new roads. Chevrolet.
Also, with 5 wins, sitting at straight wins, if you would, 12-10, 4-1. Had a major upset at Norfolk State last week, and they continue to roll. 3 first-place votes, 98. They move up 4 spots from number 5 in terms of what's going on this past weekend. So I wanted to make sure you understood that in terms of what took place there, in terms of some of these key matchups. When you look at Morgan State, they lost to Howard. That is sitting at number 2. I wanted to make sure people realize that. 88-56. Now, Morgan State did bounce back and defeat Norfolk State in one way. They pretty much dropped Norfolk State outside of the polls. Just to give